Yo. What up? Here for bits of locals. Love that. Love that. Good morning. What's on the agenda today? Great question. Great question. The answer is we're going to talk broadcast. I need this. We're gonna talk broadcast. We're gonna talk. Sorry, we're gonna talk. What the fuck am I even saying? We get to talk. Deck lists, and then we're gonna watch the 3 rounds and then be done. Good morning, Trick Card. Hello, how are you? Do this correctly? Either way, I'll figure it out. Gonna talk about your regional stream and watch on cast is way better than what UVS does. If you really feel that way, open a ticket in the main broadcast. And one of two things will happen. Either they'll help me do it. Can't stick around watching my baby, but I want to say, hey, I was the guy that played against, that was on KO at Kansas City. Well, hey, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Sorry you're catching me at such a sleepy time. She's alright? What do you mean she's alright? I think she's fucking awesome. Third option, Lanoka bans me from the stream. I don't think anything would happen to you, man. You're not the one who's like pseudo illegally stealing their stream content. Everything's always awesome, but I haven't heard. But I have heard my vote doesn't count. Why wouldn't your vote count? I think your vote counts. I think you're pretty awesome too. The problem I'll come back when I can stick around longer. Hell yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it deeply. Not seen on stream, but this top cut was the first time I've seen a percentage health tiebreaker be relevant. Whoa. That's crazy. Duplicate page. I'm gonna go to a new store today. Gonna be the third or fourth locals. Gonna beat people up with Donnie. Hell yeah! Do you steal my list? I didn't. I don't play the backups. It's fair. Merciless is similar. Add a throw slider to try it out. Have fun waxing people, my guy. That card's crazy. So many Mondo geckos, people's hands now with the prizes giving out for the regional. Oh yeah, the prizes are Mondo geckos. That is right. I forgot. Wait, I'm missing an entire card. How many cards is freaking deck, dude? Alright, it's fine, I guess. Jesus. We should have an 80 card maximum for deck lists. The other Hawks and Talks that scares me. We were playing under 50 foundations. Well, that's pretty cool. Probably not where I'd be, but more power to them. Sorry guys, I'm getting all the deck lists made. Probably something I could have done last night or could have woke up like a little bit earlier to do, but it just wasn't happening, man. It just wasn't happening. Sent you my list on Discord if you want to look at it. It's not happening right now, but I will look at it at some point. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Certainly wasn't where I was, and I wasn't super happy being as low. Ah. About time we saw another good character in Top Cuts. It's been 600 years. Third seed. Crazy. I think I'm officially ready to call Rebby now. Finally. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am good. I've set my lighting up for who I'm excited for in Top Cuts today.
That's fair.
You'll never guess who it might be.
Mm, who could it be? Is it Pony?
No.
Oh. Share my screen, entire screen, middle screen, and then we bring this back here. We come there.
Yeah.
And then we do this. And oh, I should probably pull up the VOD. That's important. You know, the thing that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah. It's
Regional
pretty
Digit Cut.
smart, buddy.
What?
red for Hawks? No, red for somebody else.
You want to do Raph?
It has to be Raph, baby.
That's exciting.
Raph is makes my neurons go crazy.
Yeah. Love
He's
that.
fun.
Alright, you are officially on the screen now. Hello,
Whoa!
welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. Sorry we're late. Rebby refused to get up and out of bed, and so it was.
That's why we have Starbucks, because Tam had to go get it.
Because I had to go get it for sure.
And you knew exactly my holiday flavor for fall, so
yeah.
Can you restate what the flavor is?
What? The good one. I went to the barista and I was like, my girlfriend wants the good one, the good flavor.
Let me try and get the order on camera. There we go.
There it is. Okay. We have here's the order of operations that I want for today. Now that we've given people 22 minutes to come in and get their seats. A very brisk 22 minutes. We are gonna talk top cut deck lists. All 8 of them. We're gonna take a brief little jaunt down top cut lane, starting with first seed, ending with 8th seed after Swiss, and then from there we're gonna jump into the 3 games of top 8, top 4, and then finals. Any thoughts?
Love
any
it.
objections?
That sounds great. No, I'm very excited to see this top cut play out.
Okay. Then let's do it. I'm gonna itch my eye one more time. Trying to get all the sleepies out. And then I'm gonna rock it. Oh, I need to do this. Do this. Do this. And then you're not allowed to be there. Put you back up here. Sorry. And then.
No, you're good. I'm watching Liberty. Today Liberty is joining us by sitting in the cat chair.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Kaiju, devastated that she is not also in a cat chair. So does look like I need to rearrange my desk to allow her to also be here. Probably on the left side, so that way they back each other.
I think I'm gonna do this and put you here. Make you a little bigger.
Oh.
Make you a little smaller.
Oh.
Make me a little bigger.
Pumpkin spice what? It's not pumpkin spice. It's a caramel macchiato, but it has oat milk and pumpkin cream cold foam. So it's not pumpkin spiced. Just the cold foam has pumpkin in it. Today I had a crazy I didn't know how we knew what pumpkin tasted like moment. I was like, how do we know what a pumpkin tastes like? Ignoring, pumpkin pie, pumpkin anything. And it took me about an hour to have the light bulb moment of, wait, there's multiple things.
There are multiple things, yeah. I need to tag all the discords. No.
Oh yeah, you should do that.
I'm live with Rebby Lynn.
While we're waiting, have you guys seen these Dragon Shield news leak? I can't do it today. You could put this in your girly Raph deck, or you could put this in your girly Raph deck. That's all we're voting for today. Pumpkin's the worst flavor? I don't think that's true. I think you just need to learn to have taste.
Well, goddamn.
Kidding. Everyone has opinions. They're allowed to hate
Learn to
pumpkin all
have
they want.
taste.
Liberty, chill, girl. Chill. Getting kissed up the wazoo. Guys, we pulled some pretty good cards yesterday from the hunted set. I'm not even showing you the good side of the box. Look how pretty it is. And I bought a book, so. I'm just waiting for you to be ready, so I'm just talking random nonsense.
Please talk. I gotta tag people and stuff.
And then, guys, I have my Syndra deck. Where is Syndra? Syndra's hiding. I think Syndra's nervous. There she is. I got my Syndra. My lady. She's my Flesh and Blood character I play. She just throws a bunch of daggers and a bunch of zero cost moves. Pretty great. And then I have sleeves with her on the back. So it's the only time I've ever bought sleeves that have something other than just a blank color on the back, and I kind of dig it. You wanted to be Arachne to be so much better than they ended up being. The 7-sided character is such a cool idea. Marionette's pretty good though, isn't he, TAM?
Yeah. Sure they can be. You gotta have the helmet though, so that you get to pick who you end up being the one time that it matters.
Oh, does it random otherwise? I haven't looked at Arachne very much.
Yeah, so you get the 6 options. Whenever your rival is marked at the end of the turn as some condition or whatever, you roll a 6-sided die, and then you become that thing, and then it's got a way better ability than the base Arachne.
Oh, gotcha.
Some of which are great, some of which are okay, right?
Sorry, chat. Sorry, Jet.
Get a cat.
She's really upset that she's not in the chair.
Old Arachne with new D-React seems messed up. That's what I've been hearing.
Yes. You want to get in there with her? No, do not get in there. Just kidding.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's rock it. I've officially hit the record button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. It's day 2 of the OCE Regional. My name's Tam, joined here with Rebby. How you feeling, Rebby?
I am feeling so excited. Yesterday, I think Swiss was really cool. We got to see so many decks we haven't seen in a while. Some new faces as well. So I'm really excited to see what this top 8 is going to be and how the top 8 is going to play out.
Totally agree. Speaking of top 8, what we're going to be doing is, for this video, we're going to jump in and we're going to take a little peek at all the top 8 deck lists, see what is cool, see what is interesting, see the placings and the seeds that we have going into the 3 matches that the official stream got to watch and cast. So with that, let's talk about, once again, first place seed after Swiss being Earth Pony, piloted by Alex G. Looking very similar to what Mike Hardiman was on last weekend, with a couple of differences. Big fan of seeing Lethal Slash back in action, saving us counters and having this classic staple of the battle auras and the electric moths. I think the big thing to take away from Alex's list rather than Mike's list is only 2 frogs and not 3. Only 3 hunters and not 4. Valuing other pieces to link things together rather than go all in on the frog. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Alex Gurney placed 4th place, I believe, at Worlds last year with Pony. So he has severe familiarity with the deck. So being able to just slightly adjust the deck to the new cards available with TMNT is a really good option for him because he was able to do the game plan prior to this. So the little bit of added juice isn't like a ride or die for him. It's just a little bit, if this happens, it's good. If not, oh well, I'll still kill you with my face. Really good player, really good deck. Seems very self-explanatory reading through the list. Very excited to see Great Buckler on here, making sure if there are any decks doing any cardboard clearing like Bakugo or Pony herself, then we are ready and absolutely ready to stop that right in its foot tracks. Tam, how do you feel about only one Kiyomi?
I think Kiyomi going down to a 1-of is totally okay. With the new unique rule coming into effect, Kiyomi was really potent when you could play her, use her, and then build in another one refreshed and rejuvenized. But that is just not the case with the new ruling. So I think 1 is probably a decent spot to be in. I think that the thing that I'm most shocked about, truthfully, is I think that our block count is a little weird. Looking at the attack lineup, we have a singular high block in our deck, and it's just Flying Elbow Drop, a card that yes can be used as a block and can be used really effectively as a block. You can take and use the response on Flying Elbow Drop, discarding it with opponent's abilities on your rival's turn, and play it as a block out of your hand. You're allowed to do that, which is really cool. But just having like the only real high blocks that we have are the number 10 pro heroes and the Kiyomi. It really feels like this list is just trying to get the job done, which I guess I'm a fan of as also a Pony player. But we're gonna
I feel
move
like you're
on.
missing a couple high blocks. There's a Weightless, Feral Streak, and Aaron Sidestep also.
Yeah, those are all 3 highs, which is my big issue, right? There's not
Okay.
there's not like a good card to block with outside of
Okay.
number
Oh,
10
I
pro
get
hero.
you.
Which like I would just like be afraid, because if you look at the attack zone lineup for this deck, they're all highs. Like they're just everything's a high,
Right.
and like our deck can't block itself, which I think is just interesting.
Yeah.
Moving on, we've got second place. We've got Void Rat here on Order Hawks. We didn't see this Hawks on stream, but doing that same equipment heist into massive mutant machine combo tactic, significantly more assets to be played off of that equipment heist than the other Hawks that we saw. What are your thoughts on this list?
This list is very synergized around this mutant machine. Pristine Swordplay lets you ready it, so you could just use the effect on a feather, play Pristine Swordplay, ready it back up, and then you could even sacrifice an asset on Pristine Swordplay and give it +7 damage.
Yeah.
That feels pretty crazy to then switch the stats and say, all right, this is a 11 for 11. Can you catch this? I think this deck does very similar things to what the previous list that we saw yesterday. I do love the addition of Pristine Swordplay. I think that is going to make some really good headway here today.
It's dope. I think there's a lot of really cool pieces in this list, especially things like Carnival Barker, for some really clean damage control, because Hawks is really good at interacting with the speed stat, but not so much damage. So I'm a fan of what that guy's going to be showing and representing, and there's just enough allies to, I think, make it nice and clean. I think that my favorite asset that I'm seeing inside of this is not only do we have the 4 copies of the Massive Mutant Machine, a 7 difficulty asset, but we also have the USS Cerritos coming down, just saying and declaring that my checks that I don't want to fail will not fail. Look at the top 3 and do some specific things with them. And so I like what Void Rat has got going on. I like the fact that it is the same idea as the previous Hawks that we saw yesterday, but just prioritizing a couple other key pieces instead.
Yeah, 100%. Also, Strength and Beauty gives it +2 speed, and it has the Tenacious to make sure, like, kind of like Great Buckler, we have some more cardboard clearing hate, which I love.
Yeah. From here, speaking of the other Hawks that we saw yesterday, this is Thantech. This is the list that we saw yesterday on stream, show some success. Find that Massive Mutant Machine. Feels a bit cleaner of a list, I think. This list having things like charismatic approach to go find the combo pieces and get them online, and significantly less assets. 5 assets total inside of this list. You doing the equipment heist idea.
Yeah, and as we saw with this list yesterday, this list is very straightforward, as you said, with what it's doing, and you can see the strategy right ahead. There's not a lot of leeway for alternatives, and it has really good defense and offense, as seen yesterday. So we just have to see, does it have what it takes to make it to the top?
Totally. We'll move on to Kai on Raphael, your favorite to take down the tournament. Another deck that we saw yesterday, and I gotta say, Kai absolutely showed me to put some respect on the muscle, and utilizing a card that I didn't even necessarily think about in Raphael, which is just Genghis Frog, with no way to really cheat this card in, right? Like in the pony list we saw earlier, we have Hunter's Ally. Genghis Frog is just here as essentially a 5 difficulty asset that we have to play out into our stage in order to utilize his effects, but to great success. Every time this card touched the board, it felt like the next turn my opponent melted.
That and Enough Talk also really did the job, like you said yesterday. Every time we put it out, it was just, the game was over at that point. He did massive amounts of damage so quickly. Feeling really excited about seeing how far this list goes. Getting to see it again in its entirety really shows you how clean and cut this Raph list that Kai made is. And I think it is aggro enough to do well. So I'm really, really excited. That's why the color of my stream is red today. Is it support a Raph?
Same with my shirt. We're big Raph fans in this house.
Big Raph fans.
Up next, 5th seed, we've got Storlax, another deck we saw on stream.
Whoa!
Aaron Yeager's Humanity's Hope. Saw some. I think this was versus the Raph deck, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct,
right?
It was. So it was 2 very angry decks going at each other, and we saw that this era deck did really well, and it got so close. It just couldn't finish the job when it couldn't get that turn 2, turn 3 kill. Letting Raph go back just was the most devastating loss that there was. That there was no coming back once Raph said Enough Talk.
Yeah. But very clean attack lineup. All 4 ofs except for the 2 3 ofs here. A lot of cool, neat pieces trying to fill up our discard pile. Find that magic 25 number. Land a move. Switch over to the Titan Advancing. And slam a bunch of stats down your throat.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. A lot of interesting choices here as well. Things like triple sacrifice for the cause for even more damage output. And I'm seeing it all over the place. I'm such a huge fan of Grish's Attack Titan. I think this card is so good. A backup that just says form speed, find an attack out of your discard pile is so high impact. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I'm really excited to see this list prove to us that round was just a fluke, and really, I'm excited for everyone to just be the winner. These decks did obviously well. They have their medals, they have their accolades, so I'm really excited to see them prove it to me.
I dig it. We'll move on to another deck that we saw on stream. Oh, you didn't get to see. We had a cat problem, so we had to bail out the last round. But Ives K coming in at 6th seed on Death. Reiner 1, a character that I am so high on in the format right now. This character got such a massive glow up, not represented here, but is definitely in the sideboard with Unyielding Destruction. After you Unyielding Destruction and you've flipped over to the backside, it's one of the most devastating things that you can do, because Reiner is constantly flipping and ruining your board, and you just get to build back out so fast, so quick. And then we saw probably one of the coolest uses of Lunar Ring I've ever seen, which was unyielding into I break 8 foundations, you break 8 foundations, and then Lunar Ring for plus 16 damage. It was crazy the amount of stats that Lunar Ring is allowed to 1-2 combo into. It was truthfully just nuts. And so I think if Reiner 6th seed, so not an incredible spot to go first all day, but if it can get ahead, I think it's gonna go really far in this top cuts.
Yeah, from what you're saying, yeah. I have, since the addition of AOT3 even, I've just been very more on, hey, this deck is doing really cool things with destruction. I say cool, it's fine. But I think it's a really cool like design idea that
Yeah.
this armored titan that's known for its destruction in the show of multiple things is just like breaking down our stages, building down our walls. Haha. So I'm a big Reiner fan, so I'm really excited to see how this Reiner gets to do this, since I did not get to see it yesterday.
Hell yeah. Moving on to Sam T with Byakko. Tried and true, the big cat has made top cuts again. And this list is absolutely massive. I don't have the exact count, but it took me 2 separate screenshots to get all these cards on the screen. And it looks like
111.
111 cards. There's a big list. That's like more than some Nick Reagan decks. It's a big mix of separate ideas of, there are throws in here when needed. There are consistency pieces and draw pieces of things like Titan Cliff. There are, if your stage being flipped matters, cards with Moon's Wrath. And probably the craziest card in here, Survey Corps Teamwork. 5 for 5 that gives my next move speed and damage and can change the zone. Interesting choices when it comes to the attack lineup, but obviously it worked for Sam. So congratulations to them.
This Byakko really looks like a wall that this guy is never gonna cycle out. There's 100 cards. I bet it takes him like 3 minutes to shuffle his deck, kind of amount of cards. I can see this guy waiting to. This guy looks like he might exhaust you. And if he doesn't exhaust you, he's gonna kill you. So I'm really excited to see what the big cat can bring, and if an old cat can learn new tricks instead of a dog.
Yeah, I guess.
Obviously, he does. He made top cuts, but
I think like there's just like a lot of like, in order to have like this 111 card deck, you have to fill your deck up with so many choices, right? Like I don't think there's 111 cards that are good enough to go in Sam's Byakko list, but he says that there is, with things like Dark Tournament Looms, right? I hit you with a momentum. Yeah. I hit you, I get a momentum. Dark Tournament Loom says get a momentum, draw a card to replace itself. Just +1 hand size off of your action, and we have cards that hit very easily and go to momentum. This says that now, because of things like Beast Summon, a card that you normally want to put in your discard pile, Dark Tournament Looms now says pick it up out of your momentum and then start the loop a little bit faster. There's just a lot of cool ideas here, and I think things that traditionally I wouldn't be playing in a Byakko list, but I'm sure Sam is going to be showcasing inside this top cuts. It's cool. It's neat, and I'm happy to see innovation and a player playing cards that I wouldn't play, honestly.
100%.
And then our last place, we've got Bailey F. Saw it in the Mimic mirror match, on the Earth symbol this time, representing the consistency of what if every turn cycle I was allowed to pick up the best attack in my discard pile, whether that be Unyielding Destruction to put us both back down to stats, Earthbreaker to commit and break your board, or even better, Titan Cliff to say that I'm going to turn this 1 attack into potentially 4 attacks with its filter draw. Good stuff. Congratulations to Bailey squeaking in at 8th place here. Happy to see a City Rampage deck represented in top cuts. I think that card is very, very good. So good that I'm happy that it made top cuts, so that it can stay in the spotlight a little bit longer, if you catch my drift. But since the errata of Mimic have not seen a ton of love for this guy, so I'm happy that Bailey is coming back out and showcasing it in all of its Mimic glory.
Yeah, 100%. It's sad that I didn't get to see the full match, but I'm assuming they both played their heart out. And Bailey's a great player regardless, so I'm very, very happy to see this.
Great player and a really aggressive list. Like the match end, spoilers for everybody at home, the match end with like playing um, transformation. What is this? What is the name of this card? It's not terror transformation. It's something. Trigger transformation.
Which one?
Trigger
Trigger.
transformation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it literally triggers his card. Trigger transformation. It was like plane attack, trigger transformation, military airship, plane attack, trigger transformation, and 25 right there in 2 moves. Like it was very, very high impact. And so like this deck absolutely could just kill you on turn 2. Even characters like Byaku, if we have enough assets in our stage to facilitate. And so explosive, scary deck coming out from Bailey, and I'm excited to see where it takes him.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited.
We are going to end this video here, and we are going to pop into the top 8 round. So, we'll see you there. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there.
I cried. I wish I could show Liberty off. She looks adorable.
No. Started playing.
Whoa, Byaku!
Started playing. That made me so sad.
Well, it didn't give anything away, if that makes you feel better, I guess. You're fine. Wow, Bear's talking so fast.
He's talking so fast.
Look at him and his. Look at him. Imagine his tie with his shirt. It just looks like an extension of his shirt. It's like actually just the same color.
Oh, I gotta go find these. Who's our 2 players? Byaku.
It is
Sam.
Byaku and Raph.
Sam, and then Raph is being piloted by Kai. Yeah,
Yes.
we found it. Let's reset here. Okay. You ready to rock it?
Yeah, born ready.
Let's do it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Top 8 is underway. My name's Tam. I'm joined here by Rebby Lynn. Make sure you go out and you show her some love and support over on her YouTube channel, youtube.com/RebbyLynn, or every other social media where you can find her at Rebby Lynn. Top 8 coming through. If we're not going to be talking deck lists because we had an entire video yesterday or before Top Cuts happened talking about all of the deck lists. So we're going to jump right into the action here with Byaku versus. Oh, why are you like this? Why are you like this?
Raph.
1 second. My thing is breaking.
Oh no. Cool.
Yeah, I'll transition and I'll work on it. But you get to chat.
Okay.
There's
Okay, so Raph being the higher seed did get to go first. Got a good build for and pass. Moving over to Byaku. Byaku having the issues of being 5 hand size, but I think with the deck that Byaku made being so high, so mighty, that this is not going to be an issue at all to find enough foundations. But there is also the other side where we don't have attacks and we just have the exhaust method as well. A good build 5 and pass. That's pretty good for Byaku, actually.
Yeah. Totally agree. That beep was on my end. Sorry, everybody. My card preview thing just isn't working. So I'm trying to get it figured out. Give me 1 second. I guess it's gonna yell at me again. What is this? Weird.
I left the site for you. So
It's the actual site no longer has the green screen on it, so I'm gonna have to key it out. But
all right, starting with the rewind throttle. This attack for those who don't know what it does, I'll just assume no one ever does. This one says that you could discard a card, commit a rival foundation. Selectively choosing a rival foundation does feel pretty good. Getting one of the Titanic combats committed is good because this Byaku has 38 health, and we are not worried about taking any damage, and those Titanic combats are going to allow us to build a bigger stage. So I think that was a great choice by Kai. Along with this, because we got to discard a card, we also get to draw a card, hoping to find more attacks to go ahead and string into this Byaku. I do think there is a point where we do need to get aggro in prior to Byaku setting up a good enough stage or having enough of a hand to kind of smack us back with. Byaku opting to take the 3 damage, and that gets them down to 35, building in a card with the other Titanic combat. Looking like we are opting to building in a Grisha's Attack Titan, checking a 2, but that's okay. We won't check another 2.
Yeah. I like the aggression here on Kai's end, strictly because it is 38 is a big number on the turn that we have to pop off and kill you. 35, although also very high, not as high as 38. So that's 3 extra health that we don't have to deal with on the turn that I'm going to be discarding my hand and putting myself in the weakest position possible. And so I like the fact that we are being aggressive here and trying to get stuff down. But a third copy of Titanic Combat coming down saying, if you decide to go for those little measly 3 damage pokes again, I'm going to be building out an absolutely massive stage. And I've got the deck size to just build 3 off the top and not care about it.
If I'm Raph, do I even care? I can get him into deadlock. Do I have any deadlock features?
I'm unsure. Under the good symbol, I can't remember. It's been so long since somebody played a good symbol deck against me. I think that there are a couple, but they're not as crazy high impact as you would imagine. One frog gone. There are things like, hey, commit a bonus resource.
And I mean, if they end up doing so, I mean, the worst thing that happens is that this Byaku then has to commit 3 cards in its stage, making it way less easy to block. But we do just, for Byaku, for people that are just not familiar with the character, this character is looking for a specific number of cards to be in the discard pile. We are looking for 30 or more. And once we do that, we can add a card from our discard pile to the top of our deck. And once we have things that allow us to draw, like Fearsome Transformation, we're going to be able to go ahead and start stacking juries on top in order to say, this 11 damage move, this 12 damage move, I don't care, it's for 4, I'll draw a new card, because now I can block again, and so on and so forth, which really makes this Byaku, to me, feel like a big wall.
We have the card viewer back online, so we are good there. Hell yeah.
So if you're Raph, how much do you try to get damage in every turn? What is the optimal line, do you think?
Again, I'm so nervous about how quickly this Byaku is allowed to build, because of these Titanic combats, that I'd be very nervous. And also, we don't have a frog, and frog is what says that we get to have these really crazy pop-off turns. A second enough talk looking like it's inside the hand, which lets us be hyper aggressive, but how much can we do? We've already have 2 committed foundations. This is going to commit an additional 1, and without having an extra card in the card pool to ready back up with capture the target, it looks like we're going to opt to go united in battle for high for 4. When it deals damage, draw a card, build a foundation from your hand with difficulty printed 4 or less. Excuse me. Letting us try and spend the resources in hand to maybe just go for it.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see what this Raph is going to do with this turn. Looking at the hand initially was a bit nerve-wracking. I didn't see a lot of good things that could be happening in there, but this deck has really said, actually, there's more. Looks like we did check a 3 on the rewind throttle, though, having to commit 3 foundations.
Yeah, 3 foundations coming in. Get to buy one back with that capture the target, as we now have 3 attacks in our card pool. But again, another 3 damage move. Byaku's at 25. It's like, what are you actually going to be doing against the big cat here? How do you find the rest of it without that gecko? Because we have enough talk in our hand. Are we down to get rid of that enough talk if we can survive, stave off what's happening? So the next turn we can have this kind of same pop-off idea. We've represented now 10 damage, although 4 of it being blocked. But I don't see a KO happening this turn any longer.
No, I don't think so either, but I do think it's a good turn to start wearing down this Byaku. We have to start at least getting it worn down a little bit. He's sculpting his hand on his opponent's turn. I think making sure if we could get any cards out of his hand, that's really optimal. Otherwise, I think we just have to beat down.
I think that draw was just another enough talk. I think what this is hey, I need my rival to find 32 on the next turn, or else I'm for sure going to be finding 22. This is a great position for Raphael to be in now with that second enough talk, because we can just play those back to back and then feel totally fine discarding our whole hand over and over and over again. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, and building out, I think, is a really good choice here, making sure that we are keeping our board healthy. I think overextending and then not building is a bad choice, so really good play from Kai there, making sure everything is set up for next turn. We have to just hope the 5 hand size that Byaku does start playing against him.
We'll say if there was a way for Raphael to accidentally explode this turn, a double overhead hammer fist is the way to do it. Let's start flipping over these pieces, not only with Byaku forcing the flip, but overhead hammer fist saying if you try to block this as an additional cost, you must flip over. So before you even make the control check, you declare, hey, I'm going to block this move, flip your foundation, pass, fail, whatever. 2 foundations will be gone if this move is going to be interacted with. As it looks like we're stacking the Titan Cliff to be drawn for later on this turn.
It looks like we are drawing that card out as well.
Makes total sense to me. We've got the foundation base to play out this big high difficulty 6 diff as our second move, but I think a big thing that we are missing over here on the Byaku side is we have not yet found one of these high difficulty foundations. So normally, whenever you think of Byaku, it is synonymous with +5 damage on every move, something that Raphael has to discard their entire hand to do. Not even, right? +4 instead of +5. But at the moment, the cat is taking a nap. It's only +2.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the issues with having such a big with a big deck is that your streamlined focuses are kind of wonked out with all these filler cards, these cards that might not have optimal gameplay in the moment, and now you're falling behind with damage, which could be make it or break it moments.
Totally agree. Looks like double enough talk is not going to be happening next turn as we go for the block here. And I think it's interesting we opt to block this move rather than the Titan Cliff, unless the goal here is to just block out everything this turn. I mean, we've got the block zones to do it. This might be a, hey, I'm in top cuts. There's no reason for me to mess around. But we knew that this Titan Cliff was going to be able to build in this copy of Ultra Regeneration to double the outputted damage of the bonus that Byaku gets to give, now +4 instead of +2. I wouldn't be surprised if another block is coming Byaku's way.
Right, and I think one scary thing here is now Raph's stage is starting to get flipped upside down, meaning our stage is becoming meaningless. Do you think that's really impactful for Raph? Or do you think that I don't care? I don't mind that my stage is getting warped.
I think it's impactful to a point, right? Like there are some cards in our stage that are not very good on offense, like the whatever this Tekken card is. It's just meant there to be a block trick. Even truthfully to the point of like high value target. That card's entire job is just to block a little better, and we at this point we have enough foundations that I think we can block out fairly easily, especially combined with Raph's minus speed for attacks in the card pool. As we go in here for another high block. I dig it.
And we really want these attacks to hit.
Yeah, totally agree. I think making sure that we stay at a nice healthy life total is going to be the thing that brings us success. So that's what Kai's thinking over on Raph's side. And so with only 6 foundations to our name, looks like we're going to be building out one last foundation and then give him the ghost. Not actually making any real headway here damage-wise, but strengthening Byaku's board just that much further. And going to attempt to survive the onslaught as Raph tries to find 22 damage.
And I think that's possible at some point for Raph, but we do have to think this guy still has 7 ready foundations, 3 cards in hand, jury available online in his hand as well. Not that Kai knows that, but you really are gonna have to string out as Kai in order to be able to play both wish hearts. That's
I think that's huge. 3 difficulty, 4 damage move that we turn into an 8 damage move. If there was a way to,
you play it next, you could stun too.
We could stun too. No, you're
7.
totally right.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool. That's really cool. But this is a way to get through this board. But I'm positive we have a double jury turn, which is really devastating for what Raphael wants to do. Right? Discard my hand for +4 damage. Actually, we're gonna use jury to put it back to 4. But Berserker Bite coming down. Tell me about this one.
Berserker Bite, this one feels rough. This one says response flip after this. After you play this card, all cards get +1 difficulty this turn. If it's your turn, it does not count towards progressive difficulty. So now this is saying, I blocked with this card. Now all of my opponent's difficulties are +1. So instead of enough talk being a 5 difficulty, it is now a 6 difficulty move, making these 3 difficulties in the remove from game pile 4 difficulties. Gets a little scary, makes it harder to string out when everything is +1.
And I will say this does even count for foundations, right? Like it's every card gets
correct.
+1 difficulty. And so even if we decide, you know what, this block was was enough to detour my onslaught, I'm gonna build out a couple foundations. It's possible we still commit a few based on this Berserker Bite, but it looks like we're not going to stop attacking. Rewind Throttle, touching the card pool, discarding to commit a couple of resources and dig a little deeper to see if we can find the remaining 19 health.
Yeah, and I think that Raph just has to discard our hand, give it +4. We have 2 more attacks in our remove from game pile that we're able to play. We do not care. We still have an opportunity of more damage to come. And even though this is a double jury turn, if we are able to play out those 2 wish hearts, one of them can leak through because we're only going to be able to play 2 juries.
That's true. But this one's going to be coming in for 4, dropping us down to 15. The next one's going to come in for 4, dropping us down to 11. And then the last one's going to come in for 8 if it's uncontested. I'm not positive unless this other card in our hand is also an attack that it's going to be enough on this turn. As we see the wish heart coming down, it's on a 3, 4, 5, 6. You need to commit 1 foundation.
Let's hope they remember game state.
I'm sure we're just trying to figure out which one matters. So from here, 2
I'll take a face down.
Oh, go ahead. What?
I know you're good. I was gonna say probably a face down is the one that you want to just do, or that 0 difficulty that has no meaning other than just being a foundation in your stage right now.
That's what I'd imagine.
Um,
I will say that since we didn't discard, since we didn't play this card out of our hand, I'd have to assume that it's not an attack card, because we would have. Oh, wowzers! Almost an absolute blowout. Um, uh, the name of this card being Dexterous Assault. It says when you attempt to block with it, it becomes a complete block. It's got a 1-mid block. One of, I think, the most slept on AOT3 cards.
it's a very, very good card. It's something that when I saw it previewed, I was like, if I play a deck, I want this in my deck, but I just have to find the right deck to use it in. It's just sometimes a little hard to put into your decks because you find you want to attack with it more than you want to do anything else with it. That very cool move, opting to fail, because at least the Wish Heart gets to stay in the discard pile and it's not in the remove from game pile.
Why not pass it, though? We have a singular card to block with.
We had 2 cards. And we knew he picked up another jury.
We have... Oh, I meant on Raphael's side. Raphael only had,
on
had
Raph's
one
side?
card. We don't need all these foundations.
Unsure. Well, we knew if we played another Wish Heart, the damage was only going to be for 4. It might not be another attack in our hand. So there was no point in discarding our hand or doing anything of the sort. At least we can block one really big move this turn and hope that Bianco doesn't find lethal.
I mean, there's the hope, but a 4-mid for 4 throw with... as we opt to take the 8 damage as it got pumped up by that Ultra Regeneration into one of the signature cards here, Double Overhead Hammer Fist. One of the cards that Bianca's going to really miss whatever rotation happens this upcoming year. 0 high for 9. That's going to make us flip even more foundations. If we have a second Overhead Hammer Fist and this one is interacted with, the next one is unblockable. Scary.
Very, very scary. And we're looking at some looping, possibly.
Yeah, Beast Summon to be placed on top, and because we have dealt damage, this, I believe the name of it is Ferocious Attacker. It says flip to draw a card, so we have now added a Beast Summon to our hand. With us being at 11 health, we're allowed to go pick up 2 more copies of Beast Summon with a singular card in Kai's hand. I am smelling blood in the water. I think that this might be a checkmated situation, especially with the amount of foundations that Bianco has available to them. Speaking of big cats, here's our little cat.
Her name is not Bianco.
4 high for 9. Go ahead.
I'm nervous 100% for Kai in this moment. Now that there's the opportunity for a loop, this says with Ultra Regeneration on the board, these beast summonings have +4 damage on them. And if we can only block 1, there's 2 more coming. Very, very scary. 3 mids for 9s. We can block 1. We have no way to currently draw. So I am very, very nervous that this could be lights out.
Yeah, I don't see how it's not, right? Kai's at 15 here. We're going to be able to pick up, unless we just don't have the 3rd Beast Summon, which with the amount of milling that we have done, I'm highly surprised. I've not checked the discard pile myself. But
why not? You're not there?
I just haven't looked in the discard pile as he's fanned through. But 3 mid for 9. We're at 15. 2 of these connecting is just going to be game over. It kind of makes me wish that maybe we didn't discard our hand previously to try and go for that move, because it's Bianco, right? The likelihood that they have the jury is just so high. And it kind of feels like we lost a lot of mid blocks in that decision. As we go for the partial here, still going to be taking 5 damage, dropping out of 10. Still asking, hey, you need to find 2 more of these. Actually, you don't. You don't. You don't.
You have 2 Titanic combats on
and
field.
They give plus stats as well. I think game 1 is just going to go to Byaku here. All it's going to take is 1 or 2 enhances. Oh, and apparently our first
Oh,
card
right at
was
the
the Beast
bottom.
Summon.
Right at the bottom.
There it is. We were talking earlier about Titanic combat being used offensively or defensively, excuse me, to build in extra foundations. Very cool to see this card represent the offensive capability of Godzilla. Commit +2 damage. My rival commits a foundation. Not relevant here, but all in all, wow. And that hand was absolutely nothing again. I think this is just a blunder of I used Raphael to get offensive, and Byaku just had its classic Byaku trick of referee jury into referee jury. Nothing we can do about that.
I think one thing that really shined for Byaku here was the getting 3 Titanic combats on field, not being scared to take damage, being able to build a massive board, being able to block, being able to just go in for these kill strings with no anxiety, no worry, because first of all, we're going to check well, but second of all, who cares? I have 11 foundations, 12 foundations in my board, and it's not going to hurt me to commit a couple.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. Byaku got set up. 34 is very hard for Raphael to chew through, even in the best of scenarios, and it's impossible to chew through as soon as we're online with those referees. And Sam just showcasing, you have a big deck, you got a lot of options, and you find those options, i.e. the Titanic combat. Your stage is going to get massive, and you can play out these big long strings, toss on a ton of damage to do so. I do not need to watch these gentlemen shuffle. We can skip through. Who is that? Heinz! Thank you for the 39 months, man. Holy cow.
You're right. That's also fair. Only passing that attack that you were wondering why we failed. Now we got 1 beast summoning instead of 2 beast summonings.
That is fair. I like that analysis. From here, though, looks like we're getting done with our mulligans as Raphael takes the lead and opting out to play some cards. Interesting to play the Feral Shriek. Must be that we have enough foundations in our hands to make this matter and relevant as we build 4 and aggressions, which I think is going to be huge to go pick up key attacks when in need.
I'm very excited. Is there anything that you think Raph can do different? Obviously the stakes are high here in top 8 of the OCE regional. Is there anything that you think that he could have done in the game, or is there anything that he needs to be doing to improve, seeing as we do not have a sideboard?
Genuinely, I think it is just you just don't discard your hand unless you absolutely need to. We discarded 4 perfectly good blocks to keep us alive on the last turn. We had the stage to block out all of Byaku's moves. We did not have any sort of thunderous roar for speed buffs, and so I think we just hold strong, play out good blocks, and then be okay with like playing the game like a regular human or a turtle, rather, a teenage mutant ninja turtle.
Yeah, I would say don't put human on him. Yeah, I think Raph just has to be really careful with the way he's playing this round. Making sure to adjust for what he's seen that Byaku could do. I think there was a little sigh of relief. Byaku might have got Thunderous Roar out, but we don't have any Titanic combats on the board, meaning that we do not have to worry about our opponent amassing a huge stage and being restricted to their true 5 hand size.
Yeah. Very
that
scary,
allows us
though.
more damage as well.
Which one? What?
Sorry, I said my sentence. Whoa, that's a good card to get in.
Massive size, 5 difficulty.
Massive size.
If you've got more health than your rival, though, it gets -2 difficulty, I believe, 2 or 3, turning it into a 3 diff.
Yep. That's a very now I'm scared. As Raph, I am scared This card, for the folks at home that have never seen this card before, that card does state, um, commit you this attack, it's plus X damage, X equals 10 minus your hand size, so plus 5 damage on this. But then Byaku on Byaku's face says you get plus X damage, X equals the highest difficulty foundation in your stage, plus 5. So it could be a plus 10 when you're tapped out. It could mean trouble.
Yeah, worst case scenario, tossing 10 damage on your throw is just like kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Enough talk comes in. I can see at least one attack here. In the remove from game pile now.
Rewind throttle.
Yeah. And again, I think it's going to be all about how much patience do we have to not spend our gas. Why would we ever play the rewind throttle out of our hand when we can play the one from the remove from game pile? I don't. There's just one removed already. Wouldn't we want to keep that for a later turn? If we don't use the rewind throttle and the remove from game pile, it's gone forever and ever and ever.
Maybe we are wanting to wait on it? Unsure.
I hope we're not looking to discard our hand on this attack. Because I think we're just going to fall into that same referee jury trap as before. Keep your cards, keep your blocks. Win this game due to being a 6 hand size character rather than a character that can give plus 4 damage. I think you can find the 30 eventually.
Yeah, I think it becomes you really have to take a slow, steady pace with it. I do understand there is a fear of I'm gonna lose my foundation base sooner than later with this Byaku, but I think you have to get past that.
Yeah.
Checking a 5 here feels really good. Getting to ready those 2 capture the targets feels like you only committed 1 for the turn.
Yeah, with the United in Battle coming in, I think that there is... I imagine we're going to get the hand discard here. Which, again,
Yeah.
I think is greedy. But with how well we're checking, because of this rewind throttle, as well as the Grishas, as well as extra draw from the... I believe we have... there's not a
Wish
final
Heart
test in
in
this
hand.
case. Excuse me. There is a Wish Heart, though. Like... There is more gas to be had, and we don't quite have the 30 card setup in Byaku's discard pile to double stack these juries. And so maybe we're thinking if I can get through one jury, I'll be able to play out the rest and give plus 4 damage to everything and do a pretty high impact turn. And there is the discard now, 4 high for 4.
I feel that we wait one more. If we're gonna do this, I feel like we should have waited for the next rewind throttle to do so. Tell him to take this one at face. It's for 4. Be way more likely. Get something built from your hand down. Feels really good as well. And then discard the Wish Heart with the rewind throttle. Get another card. And if it's another attack, you have the decision if you want to opt or not.
Whoa! What an absolutely massive
Wow.
rip off the top. Resistance training saying... Everything that we cared about here defensively now doesn't matter. If I have no cards in hand, the first attack that you play, Byaku, I'm just going to pick back up. And I love the move of using the Grishas to go pick up the Wish Heart to try to extend my turn even further. This is not about playing out more cards. This is about utilizing this hand for the plus stats. We didn't use the referee jury on the first instance of +8, so maybe we are on Sam's side telegraphing we don't have it, lulling Kai into a false sense of security and saying, hey man, spend all of your resources and go all out. Maybe even getting this resistance training committed and slim pickings, easy pickings for Byaku if we decided to just go to no cards in hand.
Wow. I'm counting with him. We do not have 30 yet.
Although we desperately want it.
we're hoping. No, I think that this also represents there's still an attack in the remove from game pile that we're allowed to play. Plus, if we do discard a card from we do discard a card with rewind throttle, we are going to draw another card. Regardless, I think we draw another card because it says if you've discarded a card this turn. So we get another draw off of Rewind Throttle saying that we could attack again. But we are opting to build instead. That Rewind Throttle leaving forever. Goodbye, Rewind Throttle. Just kidding. We're going to play it.
We play it, fail
We're
it,
gonna
put
fail
it
it.
back in the cycle. Love this idea. Love this play. Love this strategy. As we
Hello, Rewind Throttle. I didn't say anything bad about you.
stealing our 3 momentum here. Man, what an explosive turn for Byakko, and showing we had the referee jury.
The jury.
If
Wow.
we were threatened, it wasn't gonna happen. But 5 foundations over on Byakko's side. Not quite the aggressive pace that you want to be if you're going to try and stomp this turtle, especially with a draw 6 as soon as we feel threatened. We'll just
So,
have to see.
as Raph, we have 3 momentum. Would we not just want to respond with resistance training?
Yeah, I think responding instantly makes sense to me because we don't want any cute tricks to somehow get it committed. And /or, this essentially lets us redraw our whole hand, and we get to start blocking with these foundations for bonus review steps. And so, block with these foundations, get them out of our hands so that the next turn we can draw just as much gas as we did last time. Massive.
Wow, getting to build in a moment of normalcy. Very good move.
Yeah, daily...
Getting another jury in the discard pile, too.
Daily training, enhance flip, build a foundation from your hand with predictive difficulty 3 or less. Gaining a bonus foundation and turning that foundation into moment of normalcy is so crazy good. But you said second jury in the discard pile?
Second jury is in the discard pile. Now we are just asking Byakko to find ways to draw cards.
Yeah, which currently we don't have on the board. And checking poor on this first attack means that there might not be any extra coming. Genghis Frog. Excuse me. Oh, check poorly a second time.
That's rough. This spells Byakko is not going to be able to play another attack unless we're super greedy. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being greedy. But we do want this Raphael to smell, like, blood in the water. We want him to... Well, we want Byakko to smell blood in the water, right? We want him to go, I want this guy not to block. I want this guy to take this damage because this battle ore release is going to get +1, +2, +5, so 7. So that's already 11. And then if we commit our last ready foundation, that'll give us +5 more, so that's 16. So we just have to see if this Byakko wants to do so. And we found our way to draw.
Yeah, we found our way to draw. You're totally right. It is the battle ore release. But because on Raph's side, we airdropped in that moment of normalcy, we do have to play a little bit of chicken here as I give the +5 and then proceed to maybe I don't give the +2 on this battle ore and say, hey, you know, 9 was good enough. We can figure out the rest. And it looks like what is happening?
I don't think they could block with that.
We made it a low. We made it a low with the survey course team.
You're right. Okay, sorry.
That
I was like,
that makes sense. I was like,
huh?
What is happening?
Well, failing these blocks allows him to also get these cards out of his hand as well. We have another way to draw as well. Feeling pretty good. Or is that not on our opponent's turn?
Not available on our opponent's turn. We have to have dealt damage. So if we're playing Aerial Kokosho,
unless we got a reversal, yeah,
we're in. Yo, Aerial Kokosho Byakko actually seems kind of hot. Whoa, wait a minute.
Sounds scary.
Wait a minute. That's a printed 7 damage move.
Play both?
Cannot. Does not have the all simple, sadly. I wish.
Oh, all. Okay, I thought it was fire.
Dude, if it was fire, I'd be playing it in Pony. You kidding? Smack you for 4 on your turn? Yikes.
Well, you can use the other one in Pony.
You can, but not a 4 diff, so. But enough talk, Rebby. This isn't enough talk. Hitting the carpool.
All right. Well, we have not seen. Remember your previous statement that every time enough talk comes in, someone dies. We've not seen that, but maybe Raph will show us that we should stop talking and see what he does.
17 is a little closer to the number that enough talk needs to be at in order to eke the win. Especially checking well enough here on
Ooh, taking the damage as well on this enough talk.
Whoa.
Getting Byaku down to 11. This is scary.
Lethal Slash coming in 3 high for 4, lets us redraw a card and clears itself from the card pool just good enough to not
We have another
necessarily
Lethal
care
Slash
about
in hand. Wow.
essentially a 4 damage burn spell just to
And who needs to pump him? Don't let him use his jury. I mean, there is a point in that if you need another jury in hand just to be safe, you could just use a jury to keep the damage at 4, just so you could draw another card. Just in case you're worried about more coming through.
Yeah, we do have to keep our health total high enough that double jury matters, right? We need to be at 9 for this play to make sense, and we are quickly approaching not being able to have that number. But I think we drew another enough talk over on Raphael's side. This is a potential of 4 more attacks coming through as we proceed to fail this block, going from 11 down to 7.
To 7. 1 jury works now. Checking the 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then cycling over on Raphael's side. Sadly, the 10 cards that are getting removed don't trigger enough talk, but the 3 afterwards certainly do. Would have loved
Could
to
have removed another enough talk. All right, there's hope. There's hope. There's another attack coming.
Yeah, 10 gone there, and then here, let's blitz remove.
Let's see. 1, 2, another enough talk.
2 more attacks.
Whoa!
That's really good.
Scary for Byaku.
I think this is curtains. Because beast summon to loop and find these cards, enough talk to loop and find the attacks.
If you
go ahead.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, you're good.
If you are Sam, do you bait out this? You do bait out this jury to come through.
Rebby, we just discarded double flying elbow drop in order to.
Yeah.
So we have 4 attacks in our remove from game pile that we're legally allowed to play.
That's crazy.
We have no cards in hand, but 4 more attacks coming. Crazy.
If I'm correct, the 2 foundations are capture the targets that are face up and committed.
Yeah.
So we check well. That's great. Then we're gonna ready those, and we've only committed 3 from the turn. Wow.
And there it is.
Wow. Very good turn from Raph. This has been impressive. Just punishing Byaku for being a 5-hit size player, saying, you better be able to block this. This is lethal by itself already.
Yeah, and the thing that we haven't even talked about at all this match is every attack that we play inside of Raphael's card pool is +1 speed to all my moves, and so this is a printed 5 high for 3, but it's actually an 8 high for 7 as I discard these cards out of my hand, and we saw that we went and we picked up a 1 mid block. There's no way that we're going to be able to go for this block, and there it is. Raphael takes down game 2, and I funny enough, he did it not following my advice at all. He discarded his hand and got paid off, got rewarded for it. And I think that the winning play here was finding this resistance training off the top so that we had some sort of redraw, extra reviews for our next aggressive turn.
Yeah, and here's something really interesting. This Byaku's choosing to basically, I think, side in his whole sideboard Do you think in a 111 card deck, seeing your sideboard is going to be prevalent? Or do you think having a sideboard in these instances could not be worth it?
So, in other 111 card decks, I would agree with you that sideboards seem kind of superfluous. But Byakko does have a game state where he's allowed to stack anything out of his discard pile on top of his deck, and then we have so much draw power that, hey, I've got this really important sideboard piece, let's put it on top, draw it, and then now play it. And so there is a world where this is the one example where, yeah, I think a sideboard is good, but probably not good enough against Raph building 5, going second, still going to hold 2 cards in hand. Going to be tough to break through this wall. But I like
thinking
how...
about...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you like how...
I don't like anything. There's nothing I like.
No, go ahead.
4 attacks in Byakko's hand. Are a tough spot to be in, especially checking an additional one here. And I don't even necessarily know if we have a 6, as I don't look at the mill to see what happens as I pull up the card. If I'm Byakko, I think I discard 3 attacks here and try and draw 3 foundations.
Yeah, I think not building enough last turn devastated us. And along with Raph, if Raph is ready, I was going to mention earlier that it is plus or minus speed for each card in my card pool, basically saying I'm not blocking on progressive difficulty.
Yeah. When you block with attack cards, you're starting to get paid off by Raph. Kind of a Vaxeldan idea, doing that same idea of your moves getting speed and damage for cards in your card pool. But from here,
building
discard the 3, redraw the 3, and we did connect, so we get the momentum. I like what we're looking at here. Kind of get us go pile, seeing how close we are to that magic 30, as we have tons of ways to draw additional cards.
Now we just have to hope that Raph did not draw hot. And we just have to hope that Raph takes off another turn, allowing us to continue this a massive stage, allowing us to slowly sculpt our hand. Of course, having the jury in hand. I think one thing that this deck has done really well for having 111 cards is always finds the jury in hand in order to start the loop a little sooner. Getting a lethal slash, wow.
Yeah, enough talk. Again, the difference between this character having this character having its pop-off turns and not are like so crazy. If this just said draw specifically an attack card 4 high for 6, you have to enter after this one, and then you know the lethal slash is coming. We are discarding our hand for +4. Holy cow, we're being so aggressive again. Remy, we're at Byakko's at 38, dude. That's crazy.
I think we smell blood in the water. I think we're going for it. Make him use the jury now. He cannot draw. He can draw another card. He has Ferocious Challenger. Just kidding. Fearsome Transformation. I'm so sorry. He has Fearsome Transformation. We do get another card draw. So that stinks a little bit. But blocking is not going to be easy.
Yeah, block is not going to be easy, especially as we start racking up the speed here. This is now going to be a 5 high for 4, redrawing a card here, up to 3 cards in our hand. This is probably enough to warrant playing out more attacks, although our stage is dwindling. Question is it 3 high for 4 or 3 high for 8? It's like 4 is the answer.
Just for 4 is great. Think we have more attacks in hand that we're wanting to get out, or is there a better option where you just say, you know what, let's just build? But we're gonna go for it. We're gonna continue to smack this Byakko, saying you don't have the prime opportunity to sit here and whittle me down with your big attacks. Haha. Well, right now Byakko only has +2, right?
Yeah.
Byakko only has +2 damage to its attacks. I feel good in Kai's spot. This guy can't assume massive amounts of damage to me. Who cares?
I actually think it is +3 now.
Which one?
Airdropped in as Raphael, and I'm awesome. And Byakko says the highest difficulty foundation in either player's stage. And so
So it is +3.
because Raphael is proclaiming that he's so awesome and so cool, Byaku's going to be getting even more damage on his moves.
Well, that's an angry hand. There's the Great Buckler. Putting in the Great Buckler to stop these lethal slashes from leaving the card pool, asking Raph to play on true progressive difficulty is a very nice add.
I dig it. I love it. And I'm really liking these Survey Corps teamworks. A little extra speed, a little extra damage as we attempt to string out and make our attacking turns the best that it can be. And a 5 mid for 5, 5 mid for 8 going to be coming in here. And there's a world where we even utilize this Titanic Combat committing down this last resource. Obviously, we're going to commit everything except for this Moment of Normalcy. It's possible you don't let Raph get the chance to block with these attack cards to keep his life total high and keep chain blocking. It really just depends.
Yeah.
A lot of tough choices being made here by the players.
Yeah, and guys, if you think about this match has already been going on for an hour and 15 minutes. Top cuts are longer than normal Swiss rounds, so even though we are playing at 1.5 times speed, so this has been going a lot faster, this is still a very, very hard decision by these players. They're making very slow, very analytical moves that it might look very fast for us are not going very fast. And I think that's one thing that does happen in Top Cuts is the stakes are high. We do need to take our time, make sure that we are thinking out the lines. We don't want to misplay.
Totally agree. Checking a 5 here, though, says that not a ton of thinking to be had. Comes in as a 5 high for 6. Going to be flipping and redrawing a card because of this. I'm pretty sure that we've got the 30 in our discard pile, so we're just going to be... We can easily stack here to put and keep the pressure on.
Got that Great Buckler in hand? Oh, what a win. Drawing more foundations allows us a better stage, which does feel pretty good.
And the more flip draws that we happen to utilize here means that the more damage that this Battle release is going to be finding, which means using that Moment of Normalcy is going to be even more tempting as we are reaching for potentially a Beast Summon to try and close this game out. 2 stun moves, and it might be game over. It just depends on how
we do have the stage to pay for it.
Yeah, or if we have attacks in our hand already, we could stack some 6s and guarantee our attacks. It's a tough position to be in as we just come here and redraw, wanting to get the most out of this Battle release. Hey, let's put it to the 4 damage. Please use this Moment of Normalcy, and we take the bait.
I'm down for it. As Raph, I'm down to 19. This Byaku could have 5 more attacks in hand.
Yeah, it's a scary spot to be in if you're...
you know you're not going to be able to block.
Yeah. Speaking of, we...
this one's going to be big.
It is going to be...
This one's going to be so big.
It is going to be big, and here's the important part. It's slow. This is a slow move. 0 high for 5, 0 high for 8 coming in. But there is the enhance of... I guess it would get +3 speed. So I guess not too terribly much. Okay, maybe it is still blockable even if we decide to spend the momentum here. But I think getting these last couple foundations off the board says that it is the next ones are going to be lethal.
Yeah. I mean, so this one's 5. It's at 8. You give it the +2. That's 10. You can get this to 10 damage this turn and commit their last foundation. Our stage is healthy enough.
Certainly can. From here, Kai's got to be thinking, how much more could you possibly be threatening? I've got a singular card in hand. If I am off on the zone, if I drew a high block and this Survey Corps teamwork turned it into a low, it might just be game over as we grab the action I talked about at the very beginning. Or sorry, talked about in yesterday's video, rather. The Dark Tournament looms, a 1 difficulty action that says add a card from your momentum to your hand, then redraw a bonus. We know that this is going to draw us an attack.
I have a question. So what are we fishing for? We have used every opportunity we can to draw this attack specifically. In last attack, what are we fishing for?
It looks like we might
It almost
be...
looks...
Oh, go ahead.
No, it looks like we're almost fishing for It almost looks like we're fishing for a beast summoning, but it looks like we've gone past that. I think you just play it on a 6, 7, 8, 9. You play that Titan Cliff. Check a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You do it, and you pass the check.
I think so
kill
too.
'em.
I think so too. But if we decided to turn these 2 moves into lows, if we decided to make them not highs, it does tell you that Ref probably has a high block in hand. Are we willing to risk our tournament life on Raf having a 1 high block, checking a 5, committing our last foundation, or even Raphael themselves to stay alive? And we know that there's only 1 attack left in... sorry, there are no attacks left in hand. We're going to have to be digging to redraw. As we discard our 3 cards, redraw off of our Titan Cliff here. 1, 2, 3. I think we found a Battle Aura. Yeah, there it is.
Yep, we did.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we are able to block this Titan Cliff and then Sam checks a 3, the turn's over. We do not pass it. And here it is, the 1 high block. We check the 5, commit, or check a 4,
Whoa!
commit the last 2. Holy.
Whoa!
Everybody hold your breath. If you're a Bianco fan, you're wishing for a 5 right now. It's all going to come down to this. And there's the 5 as it commits out. Recounting just to check, just in case, as Sam's hands shake. Kai, the realization it takes over as we push it up. Here's the damage. The fist bump comes in, and Bianco takes down the top 8. Over.
Woo!
Raphael the Muscle. Wow. What an exciting end of the game. Look at this card pool. Look at this card pool. It's a 5-hander, Rebby.
No, he's not.
Apparently not. I think we still had 5 cards in our hand at the end of that game. That was sick. That was so rad.
We were fishing for the lethal line, and we found it. I think if we checked a 3 on that Titan Cliff, the turn was over.
Totally
that
agree.
was very, very close.
Yeah, it was close. It was a fun game. I think there was a lot of decision points to be made by both players on how to navigate and get through that top cuts. And so, congrats to both players for making it so far. A higher congratulations to Sam for squeaking out that win and taking it down. And for everybody at home, we're going to move on to top 4. But before we do, make sure that if you are enjoying the commentary, please go out and support Rebby Lynn, my lovely co-host here, over on youtube.com/Rebby Lynn, and everywhere else on social media where you can find her at Rebby Lynn. Show her some love. Drop that sub.
Especially because I'm so blue, because Wrath lost.
That's very funny. I didn't notice. But with that, we're going to move on to our top 4 match. Dang. I don't think
I gotta find a new.
I didn't think I was supposed to discard his hand so much, dude. I think you're allowed to block as Raphael. You don't gotta press the button so often.
We're gonna have to find a new color. Who am I hoping for now? Who's in the next match? It's top 4 next, right?
It is top 4.
Hawks versus Reiner.
Yeah.
Guess we're going Reiner.
Ready to rock it?
Every round, I will be changing the colors of my screen. in order to show my support for whoever is available. Do we know who else won? Obviously, Hawks won. Obviously, Reiner won. Did Pony win?
I can go check out. I can go check out the bracket. It was.
I don't want you to spoil yourself.
Bailey and Sam won. So Bailey was playing
so
Mimic. Mimic won. And then
okay, cool.
This
everyone else we know because we have here.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
I didn't think it. You ready to rock it?
I'm ready to rock it.
Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tam. I'm joined here by Rebulin. You can find her at Rebulin on all socials, including YouTube. Make sure you go and drop her a sub to support creators that support me. We are in to top 4 of the OCE regional. And we got a fun one, a character that has been out of the spotlight pretty significantly, and a character that has been out of the spotlight pretty significantly. That's right, we've got Reiner versus Hawks. I will get Biako off of our screen here as we push back. Whoop. With Hawks going first, building out 3 foundations and an asset. Tell me a little bit about this match. What do you expect to happen with Reiner versus Hawks?
Man, I think this one might be a long game. These are 2 chill guys. Reiner looking a little red right now, but, you know, 2 guys, very chill, except Reiner has a little upper hand of destruction. Hawks is going to have to navigate the destruction of his board, making sure that he can survive Reiner's onslaught after all of this. There's the worry of unyielding destruction as well if Hawks builds too much of his stage. As you said, this guy could Lunarang and send a full lethal move right away.
Totally, but the combo starting to get online here with Equipment Heist into Feather Storm. Equipment Heist saying if you've got 3 attacks in your card pool, go search your deck or discard pile for any asset you could possibly want and go add it into your card, add it into your stage. Followed with the Feather Storm saying that the feathers that we pick up become say that they don't count towards or they ignore progressive. They don't count towards progressive, excuse me. And so from here, 1 attack with the Feather Storm, a 2nd attack with Hawks' Feather coming in, and then a 3rd attack with the Big Fist Bash to then start going and finding us our assets. The question is it Mutant Machine time? And it looks like the answer is no. It's the Cerritos.
Yeah. This Hawks said, I'm not actually a chill guy. She doesn't understand me at all. This guy is here for blood. And I am here for that. So I'm really excited to see what this Reiner can do against this Hawks. And how this Hawks is really putting on the pressure right now.
Yeah, I dig it, and I really like this play here from Hawks, utilizing this Big Fist Bash to discard the 2 cards to pick up the feather, and because of that, we're going to take and play out a Superfly Stomp. This card says Blitz. Search your deck for a card to add to your discard pile. We're going to be adding a second feather. So that on our turn, we can go and pick one up. Wow, what a really heads-up play. And importantly, this is going to give us an additional asset into our stage as we have 3 more attacks.
This guy also has some pretty feathers, huh? I feel like all these Hawks players go for the max rarity on these.
Yeah. They're beautiful. They're shiny. And, whoa. Go ahead.
Wow. No, I was going to say, getting a military airship on board is crazy good. You could just re-pick up the Big Fist Bash, too. But I think the better play is probably he's going to be picking up the big fist bash, like I said.
Yeah, a bigger the bash, and because we're hawks and we can do some shenanigans here, we are able to take and flip some stats, block with a breaker 3 move, and say, hey, this is over. But from here, playing out another Hawks' feather, saying that we are going to go grab ourselves an additional asset. Rebby, this turn we have built 3 assets for basically free. This is so crazy.
This has been quick and intense, and I was not expecting this.
This is on the
We just
6.
have to hope to check well.
Checks a 3. That one fails. Man, we're about to have an additional one. That was going to be crazy.
Ooh,
what
a crazy turn.
Yeah, that was...
Turn 1 got Reiner down to 21. This writer has to figure it out now.
There is an answer here. We've got Lunar Ring. Lunar Ring says enhance, destroy one rival asset. And so, yes, you're going to be popping and building in all these moves. The Lunar Ring is going to try and break it. Team Dr. Ichigaki coming in and canceling and saying, instead of you getting to pick, I'm going to pick instead by just forcing you to target this one. I think that's a really good, really heads-up play. As then Battle or Release comes in to draw a little bit extra and play some high damage moves.
Yeah, pretty staple death package so far here. Do you think there's ever the sequencing is where it should be, or do you think we were trying to bait out the Team Dr. Ichigaki just to make sure we could draw a card?
I think it is. I think we always press the button on the Lunar Ring. It's also the 5 diff to open rather than the 4 diff into like a 6 diff or something along those lines. But
right,
we had to do something about the amount of assets that were in this stage, right? And if we opted to on Hawks' end just let it go, maybe the answer was just we break the Team Dr. Ichigaki. Like, that's just the right call. The fact that they did it for us is like, okay, sure. I mean, I got the result that I wanted, which is Ichigaki's off the table. It just takes agency out of Reiner's hands if we, as Hawks, just make the decision for them.
Forgetting the USS Cerritos is here as well. Getting to selectively add a card to our hand feels really good. Adding an ooze card, which we love to see. I wish I had them memorized.
Setting the standard. 4 low for 4. It's that the speed and damage values of your other attacks become for this turn. These 1 difficulty, 1 mid for 1 Hawks' feathers become now 4 for 4s.
4 for 4s.
Which is insane. We are representing now 12 damage here with the Hawks' feathers coming in. And it looks like going to be blocking.
Yeah, great.
Failing the block. It was too fast to handle. 4 mid for 4 coming in one more time.
Well, these have the Hawks in hand, so +2 damage. So they're 4 for 4s. You give them +2, and then you give it, and then you flip the stats, and they're 6 for 6.
Certainly are, and it looks like game 1 going to Hawks that quick. Rebby, you said this is a chill guy.
12 minute.
He just
what happened? Apparently.
He just turned 2 to 34 health Reiner. That's crazy.
Hear me out. Hawks is one of those guys that just isn't like the other guys. So if I give an honest evaluation of him, he's gonna have to do the opposite. So Reiner is gonna have to figure out how chill of a guy he actually is, and how much more he's gonna have to be able to aggro. And I just think I think that this Hawks drew very crazy and had really good turn too, which just didn't give Reiner the room that he needed in order to set up, in order to create the destruction that he needed. So I don't think that the Reiner did anything wrong per se. I just think it was a matter of circumstance, right? There was just nothing he could do about it. How do you adjust and adapt now, though?
Going first, like you said, I think is going to be massive. I think it's going to be really, really important. But there is a world where not committing our character and saying all these moves have a -1 damage could be a big deal because Reiner's ability on the front side does say -1, -2 if you destroy, and there's just no reason to do that -2, right? Like turning all these Hawks' feathers from 1 for 3s into 1 for 2s could be enough to stretch out this 34 health, buy you back an extra turn, and then continue on from there. And so there is a world where we can, as Reiner, slow Hawks down enough. And like you said, going first, I think is going to be really, really important. And truthfully, we just saw Hawks draw the nuts. Are they going to draw the nuts again and then maybe again? Let's stave off the offense and figure it out.
Yes, I'm very excited to see how this Reiner. Yeah, you can skip the shuffling.
I forgot we're not live, and I don't have to actually fill air. A build for including and always cool. One of the key pieces for Reiner to get his flipped game plan off the ground. Add this card up to your card pool. Build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. Going from 4 foundations to 5 foundations pretty quickly. We find 4 more. We're in flipping zone, and with Hawks only building 4, it says that these 4 foundations, if we flip as Reiner, are all flipped over.
Okay, I'm a new player. I'm a John Doe. Let's say we get setting the standard where all my feathers are becoming 4/4, but I try activating always cool. It does not work, or it does work. Just for some knowledge for the folks at home that might not understand the interaction.
It does not work, Rebby, and the reason is because setting the standard says that the base stats of the feathers become 4. It's not that I'm giving my moves +3/+3. They just start as 4s. They're 4s for the rest of the time. And so there's...
It happens before it's played, correct.
It happens before it's played. But we are allowed to always cool and say that they don't get the extra 2, but they've already been set at that 4.
Correct. Yeah, just a really important rules question for anyone at home that might think, oh, well, I could just easily not make these 4/4s. I could just stay 1 for once. No. It sadly will still stay a 4/4, but you could prevent additional damage, as Tam said.
From here, Colossus SWAT coming in. The easiest way for this Reiner to go from not having 9 to having 9. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
we have
9. We have 9. If we decide, oh, love this play. Colossus SWAT into Colossus SWAT. It's another 5 for 5. Looks like we used the deflect from this mutant machine, unless we built it in last turn and I missed it.
We built this in. This was in stage. I just don't know when it happened.
Yeah, must have. It must have been last turn, and that's the reason we have 2 committed foundations. I think we took this this 6 on the chin, and then from here we're going to start breaking our foundations and ruining Hawks' board. Although we did see Hawks get away with a ton of stats here on not a lot of foundations. We've basically doubled the foundation count that we had from the last game where we found 34. But this is going to be a much different story as Reiner has transformed and we have gotten a momentum from this hit, saying that one of these moves is not going to matter. Yes, makes sense.
Blocking with Showdown, yeah.
Hawks utilizing his ability to make something high and then blocking with the Showdown. So the zone that you want to attack Hawks on, not the high zone, as cards come over here and get committed. Looks like we committed the double always cool, which makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's the best play, because we don't need Reiner building an even higher stage in order for Reiner's backside to really get into the groove of letting us destroy our commit or destroy our own foundations in order to ruin one of their foundations. And we have too many face downs still for us to be comfortable with that.
Yeah, if we decide to go in and not reestablish a board state, we could be left on Reiner's turn with 2 face-up foundations and 2 foundations in our stage total. But because of a build 2 and an asset pass, I mean, that reality might still just be there. We might into this turn with 4 face-up foundations, and that's it. To as you look over back at Reiner's stage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 foundations, an insane
Ooh.
amount. This is that
And we're building
stabilization.
more.
This is
Yeah.
the stabilization that we were talking about with that Reiner was looking for. If last match was any indication of like how much we think that Hawks is in the lead and winning, Reiner has taken the reins from this game for sure.
Yeah, especially with Hawks only being able to build and pass currently, just trying to get the best aggro turns started is my impression of what's happening. Just trying to get the right cards in hand in order to produce more meaningful turns. It is just very scary. Asking our opponent to currently block, saying this is 10 speed, and I need you to either block this or I need you to take this on the chin. Either or is the best option for Hawks.
We used Reiner. This is now a 1 damage move, right? If we want to get rid of this, we just this is either take 1, dropping from 34 to 33, or we utilize our defensive item box to put it back to printed. It looks like that's just not the case.
Yeah, it does show that we did split the stats for Hawk, so this is currently a 1 high. We decided to take the 9 damage.
Wowzers.
And we are passing our turn.
This means that our hand is very good. Or is it all low blocks, question mark? It looks like it, as 2 low blocks. There's a high block coming in. Another high block? No, we didn't have that. As we
pass one more time.
Yeah, we are officially the coolest guy of all time over on Reiner's side with 4 always cools touching the board. And then the card that ended everything last game, setting the standard, coming in as our first move. 4 low for 4, getting some pretty crazy stats on these feathers that we know Hawks is going to have in hand.
Yeah, and on this one, we have to remember during this string with having such little foundations, there is fighting for control on the opponent's side, staying that an attack could get -2 to its check. It would not end the combat phase, but you could fail an attack.
You could. That is true. But if the onslaught here is a bunch of 1 difficulty feathers that fighting control, even as we check 3s, we just don't care. But Genkai's Guidance coming in, destroying these foundations, removing this Hawks' feather, but Hawks' feathers do have an ability that says if it's removed by rival effect, add it to the bottom of your deck instead. So that feather is gone for the time being, but we have another one to be played here. Another 4 mid for 4 coming in. Gonna get a little extra juice from its own ability. 4 mid for 6. Asking Reiner, hey, you gotta deal with this one a little bit.
100%, yes. And we have a couple, sorry, lost my train of thought mid-sentence. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what this turn is going to do for Hawks here. Reiner really having to decide when to block, when is the correct time. I do think waiting to utilize that fighting for control on a possible Big Fist Bash, on a possible another attack is really smart.
Yeah. And we haven't even talked about the idea, the fact that, like, because Reiner keeps taking all these turns off, we do have access to Feather Control, which says Deadlock Enhance. Your attack with printed difficulty 3 or less gets +1/+1. We've got 2 of those in our stage. So these moves are going to be absolutely massive, getting these extra +1/+1s. And then Feather Controls are going to be adding these feathers back to our hand. As Big Fist Bash comes in, another 4 mid for 4 is going to get +2 because of how many cards are in the card pool. They're going to become very large very quickly as this stage gets committed.
Getting another feather feels so good to check. I know it's not the best check possible, but being here, I think that feels really good.
Totally agree. As we pick back up a feather, I think we've got a ton more damage represented as we use Feather Control to pick up the first feather And just like that, we've -2 progressive difficulty. And remember, these feathers are going to be coming in for 4 for 4s, 4 for 6s,
So
over
6
and over
for
again.
6s.
Ooh. Scary. Always cool coming up. Building in 2 foundations. Why do we care about this?
Wow.
Another.
This is getting very scary for Reiner.
Yeah. Another Hawk's Feather coming in. Go for the deadlock for the +1/+1, looking like a 5 for 5, 5 for 7. I think we're utilizing Weapons Clash to reduce these
Or
stats.
-2.
But every time that we pop a Weapons Clash, unless we go for the block, we're fine. We're fine. If the idea here is that we were doing a Hail Mary play and we don't have the gas. Oh, wow. Another Big Fist Bash comes in. Checking the 5 on it. Another Genkai's? Genkai's Guidance coming in yet again to bail us out. Destroying 3 foundations and saying that you don't
I think we're out of
have it.
deadlock.
Not only are we out of deadlock, I think this isn't enough damage. How much health are we at?
No. Do we use the other one to pick up the feather?
Looks like it. Pick up the feather and then risk it on the 4.
You just commit Hawks at that point, unless that's not a safe move.
Opts to use the always cool, building it back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 foundations still staying out of deadlock. And here is 6 damage. I think we're going to be able to put this to 4, but the always cool is going to come in and save us here, saying that its damage can't be increased after that. Unless, of course, I mean, no, we increase the damage by 2. We'll just utilize the Weapons Clash to -2 damage. I think that we are going to get out of this turn on Reiner's side and just ask for 21. Wowzers.
Very, very, very sad. Very sad for Hawks. This was the attack turn, right? I sculpted for turns. I let this Reiner build up this huge stage, and now I have nothing, and now I have nothing to defend myself. I have 0 cards in my hand. This Reiner, what if it finds 21? What if it doesn't draw dead? And that's terrifying.
Yeah, this was not a very chill guy turn over on Hawks' side. Definitely showcasing that villain keyword. Very, very scary. What an insane amount of damage we just outputted. And this was only with a singular mutant machine. With the first attack, popped the mutant machine, and the rest of this 30+ damage was all found afterwards. Scary stuff. As Colossus SWAT comes in as a 5 low for 5, soon to be 5 low for 7. Hawk's saying, "I got little to nothing, man. You get to do it all. You get to figure it all out."
I think I'm really excited for a turn where you play SWAT, go into Unyielding Destruction, and then you go into Lunar Ring.
Yeah, that would be very, very cool. But it looks like Battle Aura is going to be the next one coming in. I got plenty of face downs here to give it the stats. Going to be a solid 10 damage move, 1 more attack, and I think it's going to be game over for Hawks. Can we find it? And it looks like Jawjammer, the classic 3-piece. Colossal SWAT into armbar, into Jawjammer, finishing it out. Wowzers, what a good one.
That was a crazy good match. We really got to see Reiner shine. Wow, Reiner really just took advantage of all the off turns. Reiner was able to just create a huge wall against this Hawks. And I think it really saved him being able to play 2 Genkais, remove 2 attacks. That negated so much damage.
Yeah, it was 2 Genkais, and that other Genkai came from the board. And it there's a world where Ives knew that this was the gameplay, right? It's the reason we built out so much, because he's like, I know at some point during the kill turn, I've got these 2 Genkais, I'm gonna have to destroy 6 whole foundations to just stay alive. And even then, it almost wasn't enough, Reppy. We survived by the skin of our teeth. It was just barely hanging on at 4 health. Really impressed with this Hawks list and just the amount of pure damage that it is able to output.
Yeah, 100%. This is not a chill guy, and neither of these boys are here to play.
Yeah. Hawks on the play this time, going into game 3, getting a build 3, and then passing. Reiner liking their hand as we build out. And huge play here. Devastating loss came in a very, very clutch, and it looks like we're sideboarding 4 of these bad boys, saying, hey, if assets are your game plan, that's not what's going to happen. As we go,
getting rid of those 7 difficulty ones would be insane win for Reiner.
Totally. Especially as on turn 2, yet again, we have the equipment heist coming in. Draw a card, discard a card, checking a 5 on it into setting the standard. From here, this is showcasing that we're going to be finding a pretty offensive onslaught. Setting standard into pristine sword play. No assets on the board at the moment for sword play, but still representing 4 damage. But it looks like a breaker block coming through, saying, hey, the 3rd move that you try to play is not going to be easy to play. And it looks like going to chew up the breaker here. And then ending the turn. There wasn't even a 3rd attack to be played. How interesting.
Yeah, really set up our opponent to use resources they weren't very... Oh. We committed 1 too many for that.
Oh.
So
Right.
we have 1 additional ready. Yay. Starting with a battle or release. Yippee! Ryder deciding to commit that enormous axe is a very, very good move. Once that is destroyed, we will go ahead and build 2 back in, which does feel very good. Now we're up to 5.
Yeah, up to 5, and also representing a ton of damage here. 4 high for 7, if we so choose. 4 high for 9, but the breaker 3 coming in, still getting us the momentum, which will be important if we can figure out how to flip on this turn. But breaker 3 is probably going to end the dream when it comes to continuing to play attacks. On a 3, checks a 2 because of the breaker block. And then more cards being committed sideways. But I think Fighting for Control is kind of a big deal, because Fighting for Control does say, not only does it reduce the check for attack cards, it just says non-foundation cards. So if we see another equipment heist or some other action come in on our turn as a form, we could tank this check and ask by our rival, hey, how important is this equipment heist to you? Which I think that's what we're trying to figure out over on Hawks' side.
Yeah, I do see the equipment heist in hand, if I'm correct. And we have a feather control, and it does look like we have 2 feathers in hand as well. Very good draw.
We checked a 5 and then instantly go, we've got both of these. I think you checked a 1 on it. And from there, we flipped the 2 foundations to make Hawks do a build 1 pass. Flip 2 foundations to make my rival discard one of the best actions in their entire deck. Very high impact as Colossal SWAT hits the board. I imagine we're going to see a transformation. Lightning will streak through the sky as Reiner becomes the Armored Titan.
Yeah, this is very bad. Very, very bad for Hawks. We have 5 foundations. 4 of these are about to get flipped. And we have to figure out which ones.
Looks like all of them except for Destroy, Go Find Myself an Asset. Hawks has said that...
Add a scheme? Very good.
Yeah, add a scheme from a discard pile to your hand. We did just add a non-block and lost a foundation for it. I don't know if I would have made this play it's certainly like we're gonna be ruining cards over and over and over again as this Hawks player. It's possible if we have 3 more attacks, we're gonna walk out of here without a board. Especially if Mikasa's Fatal Cleave, it might be this next attack. 4 low for 4. Let's break this. You'll ruin one. If this connects, I selectively break another one.
Yeah, I have anxiety for this guy right now. This poor Hawks. This is what happens. Okay, chat, this is what happens when you're not a cool guy. When you're not a cool, chill guy.
If you're not a chill guy, all your foundations get broken. That must be what it is. As we
And I need everyone to remember that.
And then Tri-Gravity Beam not only is going to clean up the stage, but also rip these cards out of our hand. If we don't want our rival to have this scheme, it's not going to matter. But it looks like removing the attack card instead, saying, hey, I'm at 30. I'm going to stay at 30, and you won't have the foundation base to do so. Let's give it some extra stats. Remove that foundation. Look at the stage discrepancy. Man, Reiner 1 is so punishing. As soon as it gets even a little bit ahead, with Jawjammer coming through now. And that's the game. I didn't even look at the life totals. Now, at this point, Reiner was just being a homie, helping his rival clean up. You know, there's not extra game zones you gotta pick up cards from. They're all in your discard pile. And there it is. Wowzers. Wow. What an insane turn that we just had of watching watching Reiner go from being absolutely mollywopped in game 1 and game 2 and 3, bringing back and totally controlling not only the narrative but the game itself. That was incredible.
Very cool. I think for 2 decks that I actually at the beginning of this literally said these are 2 I'll take the long game decks, with Reiner having a slight advantage with destruction. I think that they both proved to me these are not chill guys, and they proved so with very aggressive, very quick games that I was in my seat for, eyes peeled. Just wow, the amount of plays that these players, like, the plays were just magnificent.
Yeah.
It felt really, really good to watch, and it didn't feel clunky. Their decks felt like they ran really well. Of course, as I had stated, Reiner really just only struggle was not being able to go first game 1.
Yeah, totally
and
agree.
He proved it.
But with that, top 4 is now in the history books as we move on to the finals of the OCE Regional. Again, thank you so much, Rebby, for joining me here. If you have not already, please go out to youtube.com/RebbyLynn. Drop her a sub to show love and support for the creators that love and support me. But with that, we're moving on to the finals. Ready to pop in?
1 second. I need to cough.
Fair.
Don't copy me.
I'm copying you. You're just cool. You're just so cool.
I'm just so cool. And with that, I am ready to go. Chat, have you gotten your Dragon Shields for your Reiner deck? Reiner deck in 2 colors. Actually, thinking of these colors, they kind of remind me of the colors that are in the finals.
Ooh, that was funny. That was funny. Man, I wish I was recording so that could have been the intro. I'm clicking the button. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the finals of the OCE Regional. My name is TAM. I'm joined here by Rebby Lynn. If you're feeling generous, please go out to youtube.com/RebbyLynn. Go drop a subscribe. Support the creators that support me. Finals of the OCE between 2 incredible characters. We've got Reiner Braun versus Mimic. Insane matchup. Ives K versus Bailey F. Not the finals that I would have imagined when it comes to our current format. Rebby, what are your thoughts on these two characters?
It's very, very cool to see. Right, it's very cool to see Reiner in the finals. Very familiar to see Mimic in the finals. Very cool that we taught an old dog new tricks, allowing Mimic to fight through the errata and really show us that he's still worth playing.
Totally agree. I mean, both these characters got an errata, right? Like Reiner has not really been touched or showcased since that week 1 errata, all the way back in AOT 1. But with some new tools coming out in AOT 3, here we are showcasing the power of these cards. And I will say, Reiner got no cards in TMNT. This character was this potent last format as well. Just nobody was on the character. Nobody was playing the tournament circuit with this character. And so from here, Reiner being the higher seed, getting to build 3 as we move forward. What do you think is going to happen inside of this matchup, do you think?
Well, I'm of course in favor of Reiner because of the color of my background. But I do think Reiner's Unyielding Destruction really does not play any motive here, and Luna Ring is less potent than it could potentially be, as Mimic only wants to play assets. Assets are the way to go. We get to selectively pick our best cards out of our discard pile. But the one thing that could get Reiner here, which would feel good, is we do have Destruction on face, allowing at least some damage to trickle through here, additional on these Luna Rings. I am very excited. These are two very aggro decks, as they have both shown, and they're 100% going to be going at each other's faces constantly. The pressure consistently on.
I mean, there is that with the Luna Ring of it's maybe not the bomb of, hey, let's give it plus 12 damage, but it is asset control, a thing that most decks don't have access to. But Bailey saying, hey, you're trying to destroy my foundations? No. I'm trying to destroy yours with City Rampage into Earthbreaker. Are we opting to not pass? Oh, we from one Earthbreaker to the next as we got fighting for control. And I was like, what happened here?
Oh, I was like, how are we doing that?
We just chose not to pass it. But 3 low for 5, 4 low for 6 if we are alongside the City Rampage. Stun 2 if it connects. Selective destroy one of the foundations that were committed during this move. And so while Reiner stage is very healthy, we're going to try to destroy it back. But here's the big deal. Reiner says after any of your foundations are destroyed for any reason once per turn, build that card back in face down. So yeah, we destroyed it with the Earthbreaker, but we just popped it right back where it was. Holy cow.
I think Earthbreaker is a really cool card to Mimic as well. It really does say you get a free card because Mimic almost always has less foundations than his opponent. So it's a very cool addition here.
From here, Trigger Transformation attempting to be played, but checking a 1 on it says it's not going to happen. And so we're going to build back out and continue. 1 card left in hand over on Mimic's side with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foundations on Reiner's. Double, as we've seen before, double Colossus SWAT, and I think we have a transformation on our hands. But it looks like opening with a Battle Aura release instead. 4 high for 4 that lets us redraw a card and gets a big based on the number of face downs that we have.
Well, this one's good already. This Battle Aura release is already for 8.
8, possibly even 10 if we decide to destroy with Reiner, but it looks like 8, maybe 9 is where we're at as a second Battle Aura comes in. Opting to not even... Oh, I guess we are drawing with these, because that's how it's gonna work. Tayaki coming in, -2 damage, redraw a card. I think our goal here is we're not allowed to just take another 9 to the dome. Unless we do. Is this a game over? As we see Tri-Gravity Beam come down, ripping the best card out of Mimic's hand? Yeah, let's get rid of the 1 mid block and say that maybe you can't block this?
We're gonna have to mill 3 for +2 our check.
+2 our check here. Go for the block. Says this is extra damage to make it lethal. 4, 5. If we have one more move, a Jawjammer cleans this game up pretty handedly. But it looks like we're just going to be building and passing. Man, what a devastating turn. 2 of the best cards being ripped out of Mimic's hand. 1 due to the Tri-Gravity Beam, 1 due to the block. Not the position you want to be in if you are a Mimic fan this game.
No, you really do have to hope Mimic is able to stabilize and really be able to pop right back out over to this Reiner. As Reiner has shown, your stage is not at all. We're building.
Yeah, you said stabilization was the idea, and so I think building here is important. But for every one of these foundations that we build, yes, we've built in 4 very cool foundations. We've got 8 foundations on our stage and an always cool. All it's going to take is adding up an always cool, destroying any foundation we want, and then all of these foundations on Mimic side are going to be flipped over as we transform from Reiner into the Armored Titan. But instead, we're opting to build out ourselves a little bit more stabilization. But with only 4 foundations, man, I think we're just down to jam them.
Jaw jam them?
Jaw jam them, yeah.
Yeah.
Being checked at the top. Soup! Mimic drinking his weight as it looks like the unyielding
getting an unyielding in is great.
Huge, absolutely massive here as Genkai's guidance comes down, saying no thank you, I like my stage right where it is. Appreciate that though. As we build in, we might even be able to get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 9 if we wanted to build back in with the Genkai's guidance, flip and then transform on our turn. But it looks
2
like
triggers. It's huge.
We care about the damage point. I totally agree. I think 2 triggers is going to say that even after Reiner starts destroying these foundations, we're still going to be able to pass some checks.
Another battle aura release. This one obviously could very easily represent lethal. It is already at lethal if we do the +2 on its face. It's just whether or not we can block on Bailey's side, which we definitely can. We do have enough foundations currently to block.
Yeah. From here, opting to flip this entire stage. I mean, if we have multiple attacks here, this stage is just going to be absolutely ripped to shreds by Reiner, which says even if we do happen to have some sort of offensive capabilities, how much will you be able to swing back on your turn, Mimic, if I just take away the resources that is your staging area?
Yeah. I think as Reiner, you have to continue to go at this and exhaust him. He has 2 cards left in hand. And if this one touches, which he's not allowed to, he gets to destroy a foundation.
Certainly is not. Ruin 1, potential break another, potential lethal line here. But it looks like we do have the low block, which is important. But now with 2 cards in hand, Tri-Gravity Beam says, hey, I got 1 card left in hand. And there's the game. Reiner taking it down. Game 1. Very impressive display.
Very good. I think it's very good as well that Bailey did put up a fight. I think Bailey had just so much interruption happening that it became really hard to continue. Reiner getting in these really important pieces, such as those fighting for controls, being able to play again, guys, and still transform on the next turn, really continued to shut off these turns from Bailey for this Mimic. And so now we need Mimic going first now just to really prove to us that that was a fluke. This isn't going to happen again.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the game plan over on Mimic side has just got to be unyielding destruction. We saw that was the game plan before, but a very lucky 1x copy of Genkai's guidance. That game doesn't happen if both players get reset back down to 4 foundations. And so Man, I love that Ives is here is showcasing exactly why I think Reiner is such a threat in the current meta. There are so many decks that are down to play with so few foundations. People are really caring about quality of foundations over quantity of foundations, and then you intermix that in with Mimic playing these assets. But even looking at things like Zeke Yeager or Han Zoe playing these backups, imagine, they build their 4 foundations and their 3 backups or whatnot, and you just break all the foundations and say, yeah, your backups are really strong, but you need them to play the game. And so you just don't have any, and I'm sitting at 9. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm such a fan of this Reiner deck attacking the meta in such a unique way. I'm so happy that Ives is showcasing this deck so well.
Yeah, this has been really great to watch. I mean, this has just been fantastic.
Yeah, and like Reiner on the front side, really good versus these long string decks. Reiner on the back side, good versus these really singleton tall decks. It just kind of feels like he's got tools for the trade for basically every situation. But a massive, speaking of tools, massive build over here for Bailey. High impact foundations, 3 assets and an ultra regen to keep that our health total nice and high. Let's see how Reiner rebuttals.
Yeah. Getting a pretty good build in here with building 5 in. I think that's just a win in itself. 5 in is always really good. City Rampage coming down, checking an asset, but we don't have any attacks in our discard pile, so we don't care.
Suffering from success, truly. As Titan Cliff comes down, did we check another City Rampage on this?
Yep, we did.
City Rampage giving +2 to our checks for every single attack for the rest of it, as we have Titan Cliff now hitting the table, discarding X cards, redrawing cards, and most importantly, grabbing an extra foundation for our poor Reiner to flip later. Unless we do it first, this was finally free. We'll snap ourselves a momentum, see what we have to use with it. I think the answer is probably something like, I think I peaked a trigger transformation. Let's go build ourselves a trigger out of here. Insane. We checked the 6 on this. Wowzers, that's so good. Currently is
we have another trigger in hand too.
Oh, do we? Wowzers.
Yeah.
Looks like utilizing the Reiner to destroy for -2 damage, it looks like.
Yeah.
Another trigger. I mean, are we also gonna see another OTK? Is this trigger transformation into trigger transformation? If you drop down to 20 +3 damage, +2 damage, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, down to 8 health goes Reiner.
Yeah, but we have to be able to pass one more check, and it's on a 10. So we have to check a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So.
And it's easy to do. Oh, wait. 5, 6, 7,
We're going to check
9,
if we have an attack. We want to pick it up.
10. We did this
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we committed one too many.
We have to commit Mimic to go pick up the Titan Cliff.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. We just decided to commit Mimic as the last game action rather than anything else. But from here at 20, the question is do we attempt to play these moves, or do we hold them? I think that the answer is that we're just supposed to hold it and have the Titan Cliff as the starter for the next one, dropping Reiner down to 14. I mean, this is a good spot to be in if you're a Mimic fan. As we proceed to continue to play the game, how difficult is it for Ives to find 25 versus a basically committed out Mimic? That's the question.
Not hard. That's the scary part.
Not when we open up Jawjammer, that's for sure. Too high for 4 throw that we're going to be giving +2, destroy for another +4 if we so choose. This could be just like a 10 damage move, just slinging right down Mimic's gullet.
Mimic is at minimum taking 5.
Looks like the answer is take the full 10, gain 2 back with the Ultra Regen, and redraw. Let's go ahead and build back out as Reiner. Not quite getting to our 9 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But with the always
But we'll
cool,
get there with always cool.
we could get up to it. From here, oh, love this.
Oh, we're gonna throw that Genkai's down.
Yes, Unyielding Destruction, baiting out the Genkai's guidance and saying, hey, instead of us both going down to 4, I'm instead going to go to 5 and get rid of this attack.
Fighting for control said that was minus to the check.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, it is commit out everything. And then from here, how much more gas does Mimic potentially have as we have Titan Cliff
more gas
touching the stage? 4 high for 6. We committed an asset, so it's 4 high for 8. Build up, or add up to build down, making our stage nice and healthy.
I think we need to guarantee, if we play Unyielding, we need to guarantee the check.
This does make sense as we destroy this asset. I love this play. Love this play. I do kind of wish that we had, instead of the minus damage on Reiner to rebuild, we could have just utilized the desperate what's the name of this card? Devastating Loss. Destroyed it instead and then rebuilt it back in. But I guess saving the health is really important as we drop down to 10. Going to play 2 assets, picking up one of the most potent high blocks in the game in the form of a Gigantification Swing.
Yeah, this is feeling good for Mimic, but there is also the scary side of this. Reiner's doing damage on the front side, doing extreme amount of damage. And I don't know what we do, you know? And this Reiner's going to take the time, say, you can't kill me, I'm going to stabilize.
Building right back out. If we find another Unyielding, I think this might be, we might be in a very tough position. But it looks like opening with a Gigantification Swing, 4 mid for 5. Checks the asset to go pick up the Titan Cliff. And if we want to, we can spend this momentum, one of our 3 momentum, to make our checks a little bit easier for some specific keyworded cards. Looks like that's exactly what's going on. So 4 mid for 5, -2 to the next check. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's flip over for Reiner. Flipping the rest of Mimic's stage. But we gotta survive. Reiner's at 10. Tough spots to be in. We're trying to get back to our turn.
Yeah, going down, yeah. This is very scary. Unyielding says, sorry. At least he transformed.
Yeah, Unyielding, inopportune time. I mean, if we had opened with the Unyielding, we could have stopped the transformation from happening, correct? Go Unyielding into the Gigantification Swing, especially because I'm pretty sure Unyielding doesn't have the keywords we care about with Gigantification Swing for the pluses to the check. So playing them in either order, I think, is probably okay.
This is looking like it's getting... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, using the airship to pick back up the Gigantification Swing to then play it out one more time. And it has the keywords that we care about. And so it essentially made the Unyielding not count towards progressive, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that 100% makes sense. Yeah, I am very, very excited to see this. This Mimic was really in the winner's seat. This Mimic's just saying, last game was a fluke. I have a million more attacks in my hand. I can easily pass these checks. This Reiner could only block for so long. And using always cool's damage can't be modified is in poor taste on Reiner's backside.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think he can even minus anything anymore, right? Only front side.
He can't do minus damage, but we did get a deflect 2 to come through with this acid splash. A card that we haven't seen a ton of inside of this matchup, but was relevant last time we saw Reiner on stage. And then from here, looks like we're committing everything out, but with a Reiner activation.
It does reduce it. We still have that, you're right.
It does reduce it, but I wonder if we see the line with Reiner at 2 health. This reduces it down to 1. I think Tayaki just makes it lethal if we see it. We go for the... We add in the Tayaki with Reiner at 1. This is going to give +1/+1? Are we not going to get there? As it fails, Tayaki would have been the game, Rebby. Oh, yeah. No. We missed lethal because we were so focused on playing this next trigger transformation. Yes, it's a 4-diff, but you've got so many cards in your card pool that checking the 3 says that it's game over. With a completely committed out Mimic and +2 damage on all of our moves because of what Reiner's doing. If we draw hot, we're gonna find 21. Oh, man.
Wow.
And here it is, Colossus SWAT
Starting
checking
SWAT.
a 5 on it. Buying back all these foundations that Mimic destroyed on our last turn. 5 for 5, 5 for 7, destroy an extra foundation.
Yeah, this is smelling trouble.
Looks like activating the triggers here to pass this check. It was a 7 damage move saying, hey, I need you to not find a lethal. You're not allowed to go for the kill here.
Reiner's thinking of a line, trying to figure out, we gotta kill this Mimic. If we pass the turn back, we have no momentum. We are dead.
How does it happen? And the answer is Lunar Ring is huge. Lunar Ring, we've already destroyed 2 foundations, 1 on our board, 1 on their board. This is going to destroy 2 more with Reiner's ability and an asset. It counts because its cards has been destroyed. This is +5 damage. It's going to be a 4 high for 10, 4 high for 12. Checks the 5, not going to succeed. And then Trigrav on the 6. Checks the 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't tell what Mimic's health life's at. It's at 9? This is
9, that's it.
Lethal, right? 5.
Yeah, because you get +2 off of.
Oh,
you get
there it is.
Yeah.
We had to have the removed card. We didn't have the +2 quite yet, but with the Botan's coaching plus I'm with you to remove the card, that's gonna be it. That's the game as we attempt to go for the block, and the fist bump comes out.
There it is.
And Ives, as Reiner steals it back. Bailey just barely missing the line to clean up the game. Just wasn't thinking about snacking hard enough.
He was not hungry, and I think that's okay, because my guy won.
Tough.
No, what a
line
great
to see.
game.
Yeah, very cool. Very awesome, fun finals here. And I have been on Reiner for literally since before Gen Con. The deck, one of the 2 decks that I brought to Gen Con was I quote, mean Reiner, of just trapping people in prison, because I think he's really, really good this format. And I'm so happy that we got to watch Ives showcase this deck at such a high level. Please, please, please respect Foundation Destruction. It is there. It is available. It is so mean and nasty. Man.
Just agreed, man. Agreed. Reiner really showed us, hey, erratas don't matter. Just like Mimic showed us by even getting to the finals. Erratas do not matter. We can build, we can overcome, and we can succeed. Good job to both players. I'm very proud of how they both played. They both had extremely hard opponents, of course, all the way from the beginning of Swiss, all the way to top 8, all the way to top 4, and all the way to the finals. Good job to Ivis for winning this match. Very, very hard game, and it was a well-deserved win.
Totally agree. With that said, thank you all for watching the unofficial coverage of the OCE regional. Big shout outs to Rebby. Thank you so much for being on here for the past 2 days and hanging out with me and watching some really dope games of UNIVERSUS. If you liked this and you liked the cast, please make sure that you go over and you support Rebby Lynn over at youtube.com/@RebbyLynn. Drop her a sub. It'd be very, very cool to show the love and support for creators that show love and support for me. So with that said, that's it for the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. I know that it was a short one today, only 2.5 hours as opposed to the 5 that we did yesterday, but half the matches means half the time. So any final thoughts? Sign outs, Rebby. You're the last word on the stream.
Yeah. Shout out to both players. I think everyone in this game did so well this weekend, representing the meta is not just what it appears in the US and the EU. That OCE has its own spice that it is cooking up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. Make sure that you support Tam and Cardwell in all ways possible. Let UVS know that this stream was the best it could be and that we deserve more of this on the official stream. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you on my YouTube channel, and Tam will see you in the next one.
Bye. Oh, yeah, sorry, you have to